The time by Sagicor is
7 o'clock.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, opposition blasts government for its handling of education. Prime Minister promises urban centre and bypass for Hopewell, Hanover. JLP expresses optimism about its chances in St Andrew East Central. More success for the JCF as murders in Hanover decline by 70%. While in sports, Reggae Boys begin 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup journey against Guatemala. Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Monday, June 16, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks so much for joining us. To the political arena, the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, is optimistic about its chances of winning the St Andrew East Central constituency. The JLP last won in 1983 when the PNP boycotted that election. The PNP's Dr. Peter Phillips has enjoyed huge margins during his tenure, but the JLP's confidence is now fueled by the narrow margin of victory in the 2020 election and the fact that Dr. Phillips is no longer running in this race. So, Andre Jebinson reports on Sunday evening's rally in which the JLP caretaker was introduced.
Dr. Peter Phillips is bowing out of representational politics after a 31-year tenure representing St. Andrew East Central. The 2020 election saw Dr. Phillips secure a narrow victory with a margin of just over 900 votes, while serving as leader of the opposition at the time. The PNP selected businessman Dennis Gordon to replace Dr. Phillips, but attorney at law Davian Vassell of the JLP is hoping to spoil that transition.
We know the last time the JLP won this seat was in 1983. I was 4 years old at the time. It sounds a little hopeless, but guess what? Hope should spring eternal, East Central.
Vassell has drawn inspiration from Jodie and Myri's 2020 feat. She came closest to unseating Dr. Phillips.
My predecessor, Jodie and Myri, had the then opposition leader biting his fingernails on the night of the election. So I want to big up Jodie and Myri. Shout, 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 shout. You have weakened the stronghold of the PNP in East Central St. Andrew. And now it's my turn to deliver the killer blow.
Rhoda Crawford from Manchester Central told Labourites to deny the PNP another victory. She contrasted Dr. Phillips' absence from parliamentary sittings with her own experience of returning to work shortly after she had a surgery.
Now we here say the MP for this constituency is ill, so we never trouble him. But the problem I have is that the other day in the boiling sun, I saw him demonstrating. And my point is, if you're well enough to go to demonstration, you are well enough to come to the house on behalf of the people.
Crawford, who represents a marginal seat, lashed out about MPs who occupy safe seats.
We are not to get comfortable in this country to the point that you have MPs and because they're in safe constituencies, they don't have to do no work, and it is almost guaranteed that they will go back to Garden House. And you have some of us who have to work very hard to get back to Garden House.
JLP Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie argued that despite St Andrew East Central producing a Premier, a Minister of Finance and a Mayor, the constituency's progress has been underwhelming.
We now budge. We now move an inch. We will never surrender Jamaica to the PNP again. Never.
Andre Jebinson, CVM News.
Speaking at a recent divisional conference in Hatfield, Manchester, General Secretary for the People's National Party, Dr. Dayton Campbell, accused the governing Jamaica Labour Party, the JLP, of failing to deliver transformative policies in the education sector.
That we've had a Prime Minister for 10 years, and that Prime Minister is the former Minister of Education when his party was in power 4 years before that 10-year start. And it is the first time in the history of the country we've had a Prime Minister that don't build one God Almighty school. We then see a report from Pembroke Hall High that says that 70% of the children cannot read. How can you have 70% of the students in one school that can't read? The child that is in grade 7 is either 10, 11 or 12. That child started going to school at 3. 3 from 13 left 10. That means that the entire academic life of that child has been under Andrew Holness as Prime Minister. And Labour right let them down.
After taking legal action and claiming political suppression, the People's National Party candidates in the St. James West Central officially reinstalled their campaign billboards earlier today. The signs were previously removed by the municipal corporation, which became a point of conflict. Kevin Black has more.
National Party is reinstalling its campaign billboards that were unlawfully removed by the Jamaica Labour Party Mayor of Montego Bay, Councillor Richard Vernon. This move comes after the Supreme Court ruled in favour of 3 People's National Party representatives in a legal battle against the St. James Municipal Corporation. According to Dr. Andre Houghton, PNP caretaker for the St. James West Central constituency, this victory is a progressive move for the city of Montego Bay.
Today is a very good day. We are getting a chance to re-erect the posters that were illegitimately taken down by the mayor. This is a win for Montego Bay. I mean, if you have 2 parties running in a race, then both should be given the opportunity to erect their flags and to advertise themselves. And we were restricted from doing so illegitimately. And now, because the law has ruled on our side, we are now putting back the posters that they took down so that we can maintain presence in the constituency. We want fairness, and Jamaica deserves fairness. And the negative approach towards leadership, the trivial approach towards leadership in St. James must come to an end.
Houghton says the mayor's focus is misplaced. He believes there are more pressing matters that demands his attention.
If you have 2 parties running in a race, then both should be given the opportunity to erect their flags and to advertise themselves. We believe that this parish is plagued by many other challenges, and if you compare us to other communities around the world, other towns and cities around the world that are tourist-driven, we are way behind. And I think that is where the mayor should focus.
Councillor for the Mount Salem Division in St. James West Central, Kerry Thomas, says that the mayor is leading the municipal corporation in the wrong direction. He believes Montego Bay residents deserve more mature leadership.
This type of leadership we do not want in the St. James Municipal Corporation. We expect better, more transparent and more mature leadership for this municipal corporation. And rest assured, we 6 will be there monitoring and keeping you, holding your responsibility for everything in this corporation. We need better leadership and we need more transparent leadership as we move forward as a parish, as we try to strengthen local government to be where it needs to be.
Houghton and his colleagues are promising a new form of leadership that will elevate the St. James West Central constituency to new heights. Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Plans are afoot to establish a small urban centre in Hopewell, Hanover, and construct a bypass for the town. Prime Minister Andrew Holness gave the update as he addressed JLP workers in Hanover Eastern on Sunday. Traffic congestion has long dogged the people of Hopewell, a small town in Hanover that's always abuzz. Its restriction is tied to it being a one-road town, a problem that the Prime Minister told locals he's moving to have rectified in short order.
I know that you have other challenges here. I know that the traffic is a problem. And therefore, we are going to build a bypass around Hopewell. We have looked at the alignment, and we are satisfied that we have a good alignment.
With resounding applause and fervor at his announcement, he told supporters at the Bethel Primary School in eastern Hanover on Sunday there's more development planned for the parish.
But not only are we going to build a bypass, the existing road, we're going to do some work on it to widen it and give it a slight realignment. And we're going to put a small urban center in Hopewell, because right around Hopewell, you have a pretty decent population. So we're going to invest in Hopewell to make it a decent town. Right now it's just a one-street town, but we're going to fix it up.
He encouraged supporters not to hide the successes of the JLP, but rather to spread the light of the word about their accomplishment. Meantime, the Prime Minister highlighted works being done on several critical roads in the parish, insisting no administration has pumped more money and resources into maintaining and rebuilding roads and other infrastructure.
Nobody has shaken as many hands as I have. Amazing. And the biggest complaint is roads. The road infrastructure in Jamaica is not in the state that we would want. And I want you to know that I hear all the complaints and we have a program in place to address it.
The JLP leader says while much is being done, there's still more to do across the country, insisting this is even more reason for Jamaicans to vote, adding it's under the PNP that roads were neglected. We take a break, but CVM News at 7 continues in a moment.
Yo, genius! We just get the Burger King Double King combo. One original chicken sandwich plus a Whopper Junior with cheese. Well, 2 sandwiches enough. Plus a small fries and soda for only $1,300.
You use the new rubber money. You did say the money can stretch a Burger King.
Me mean you get more food for your money.
Oh.
1 combo, 2 sandwiches.
So you want I gotta eat whole of 2 sandwich, brother? My belly can stretch, you know.
Get the BK Double King combo. Limited time only at Burger King.
From politics to global events, from social issues to breaking news, Lead Story Prime dives deeper, cuts through the noise, and uncovers the stories that shape your world. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Lead Story Prime with me, George Davis, for an hour of incisive analysis, expert interviews, and unparalleled coverage of the issues you care about. Lead Story Prime, your front row seat to the most compelling discussions. Lead Story Prime, where the truth comes first. Only on CVM TV.
Rise with Sunrise. Spend your Tuesday with Miss Kitty and Dennis. First up, we learn how to navigate property valuation with BCIC. Then we head to the kitchen for something finger-licking good. We're off to school for Fully Bright, and we'll wrap your morning in Sunrise Freshers. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Continuing the news, endorsements and jabs all at the same event where PNP President Mark Golding slammed the Andrew Holness-led administration for alleged anemic growth in the economy and corruption perception around governance. So it was as the PNP descended on East Central St. Andrews Sunday while the JLP convened in the hotly contested seat. He says he candidate in the case of East Central St. Andrew, its longtime holder and former opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips's departure from the representational arena has created an opportunity for PNP councillor Dennis Gordon. The businessman, known for his medical firm Jackden, using Cuban consultancy and support, is no stranger to the space now keenly watched. He received endorsements on Sunday from the party president.
He has indicated tonight some of his plans and commitments to uplifting the people of this constituency. And I know that Dennis is not a man of loose words. He is not a man who is showing off or bragging. He's a man who speaks with a serious intent, and I know he means what he says. You are in good hands with Dennis.
And then he began his attack on the governing Jamaica Labour Party for perceived lack of growth he calls mediocre.
The Prime Minister himself has to carry the weight of that responsibility for failure because he is the Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation. So he is responsible for delivering the growth which has not been delivered under his watch.
It's something he says he's been analyzing, but notes there's more needed for people to advance.
We realize the importance of the fiscal discipline that was begun when we were last in government under Portia Simpson-Miller with Dr. Peter Phillips as Prime Minister to get the public finances of the country under control and heading in the direction of sustainability. Because until we did that, the country could not move forward. And there has been great success in achieving that. But it is not sufficient. The people of Jamaica want so much more. The people of Jamaica deserve opportunities to live a quality life here on the rock. They deserve opportunities to have good education for their children, good health care if they need it.
The police are reporting a significant decline in murders in Hanover. This development comes as the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, continues to highlight sharp declines in other areas of the country. The issue of crime reduction has been a hot-button issue in the political debate, in which Prime Minister Andrew Holness has faced criticism, particularly from Senator Peter Bunting. Murders in Hanover have fallen by some 70% so far this year when compared to similar data for the period last year.
I met the deputy superintendent in charge. He was very pleased to give me a report that murders in this parish is down somewhere in the region of about 75%. There are those bad mind people who would want to say that the government has nothing to do with this. But you know, bad mind people cannot be happy for your success. They can see you prospering and say, I am happy for you.
Prime Minister Holness again attacked narratives from Senator Peter Bunting, who insisted recently certain declines in major crimes are in no way linked to the efforts of the Jamaica Labour Party. He, however, notes that the impact of the reduction in murders is being felt across homes and other social groupings.
As the Deputy Superintendent pointed out to me, he said, Prime Minister, 21 more families are happy today because there are 21 less murders in the parish of Hanover. But they don't care about that. They don't care about that. The truth is, they don't care about your lives.
Meanwhile, Holness, upon wishing the fathers among them a happy Father's Day, encouraged the fathers to persuade their children to live lawful and orderly lives. He warns that the JCF today is not what it was 10 years ago, and no effort will be spared to ensure that law and order prevails.
Encourage them. Point out to them that the Jamaica of today is not the Jamaica of 10 years ago. The JCF of today is more equipped, better led, better strategy, better communication equipment, better investigation. We put in a state-of-the-art forensic suite. So anybody who believes that they can commit a crime in Jamaica and believe they are going to get away with our escape, they have made a mistake. We have changed the risk-reward function in crime.
He was speaking at a workers' appreciation rally in eastern Hanover on Sunday as he ramps up effort ahead of the next general election. We take a break. Stay with us.
At Flow, we understand your rhythm. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you. With a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do. And our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Courts presents their 2025 furniture event, The Art of Living, at all Courts stores nationwide. Up to 50% off select furniture brands and styles, plus a free TV with the purchase of select lounge pieces. Get a 3-piece bedroom set for only $169,999. Complete the look with our designer rugs and accessories. Shop now and pay later on 6 to 48 months credit. So don't miss The Art of Living 2025 furniture event happening now, only at Courts, bringing value home. Offer ends June 24, 2025. Conditions apply.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Thanks so much for staying with us. There's a major drop in murders in Clarendon, down by 50% when compared to this time last year. But while police are welcoming the progress, they say it's far from a solo effort. Akeem Oret has more in this report.
Clarendon, a parish once labelled as a hotspot for violent crime, is now seeing one of the sharpest reductions in murders across the island. Between January 1 and June 14 this year, 17 murders were recorded compared to 34 for the same period last year. Assistant Superintendent of Police, Adrian Fleming, says the relentless efforts of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, have contributed to this steady decline.
Clarendon had not seen that number in over 12 years. And based on our current trajectory, we are seeing where we are poised to achieve even greater things. So what we are doing, we are sustaining the effort. But clearly what we are doing from the numbers appears to be working. I don't know if you agree with me when you look at the numbers. I may say it not appears, it is working. So that's what we are doing. We are sustaining the effort. We are meeting with our community members. We are giving them tips on how to keep themselves safe. And we are also going hard at the criminal elements.
He says the JCF has implemented an initiative through the Community and Security Branch to assist with individuals sharing information.
We have an initiative from the police standpoint where every month each police station is charged to go into the community, meet with the citizens, because we recognize that it may not always be a case where the citizen will be willing sometimes to come into a police station and share that, we are having this particular issue or we are having that issue. So we leave the station, we go in the community before something even happens. It's called preventative work. We don't always want to go and investigate, sometimes we want to go and we prevent.
But even with the gains, ASP Fleming says the fight is far from over. He warns that crime is not only a police issue.
From our standpoint as the police officers, we are doing what we can. However, it is not a police alone issue, it's an everybody issue. We all have a part to play in securing the future of our parish and by extension Jamaica.
Last month, Maypen recorded 0 murders, a number not seen in the last 5 years. And while the numbers are down, the authorities are urging the public to remain vigilant and continue to work with law enforcement. Akeem Art, CVM News.
Residents across several communities in Westmoreland are pleading with the government to move swiftly to address what they describe as long-standing issues with poor road conditions and uncleaned drains, especially with the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season upon us. The concerns are stemming from areas including Petersfield, Burnt Savannah, Little London and surrounding communities, where residents say they've been grappling with deteriorating roads and blocked drains for years. According to the residents, the situation worsens each time it rains, as several communities are quickly flooded and roadways become nearly impassable. They say the lack of proper drainage is a recipe for disaster and are now urging the relevant government entities to act before the weather takes a dangerous turn. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett has unveiled a comprehensive reform of the tourism labor force, with the Tourism Enhancement Fund, TEF, taking the lead in this ambitious undertaking. The initiative, the minister says, marks a pivotal moment as Jamaica reimagines the future of tourism, aiming for a more sustainable, inclusive and circular economy that benefits all stakeholders. The TEF's expanded role is central to this vision. Now, the organization is tasked with spearheading a transformational shift, focusing on strengthening local communities, empowering the workforce and maximizing the retention of tourism spending within the country.
That the new tourism that has emerged since COVID-19 is one that is now driven by a whole different skill set requirements, and one that is going to eviscerate the traditional understandings of tourism worker. And that is our job now to build that new perspective, and more so to create that new capacity to respond to what the new tourism worker is going to be, and to enable Jamaica to be on the cutting edge.
Now, a key component of this reform is the creation of a robust and future-ready workforce. The TEF, through the Jamaica Center for Tourism Innovation, JCTI, has already partnered with International Certifying to certify nearly 30,000 tourism workers. Bartlett says artificial intelligence is part of the training to be undertaken.
Because that's how you're going to remain in the tourism workforce of the future. And we make no bones about it because we understand it. In the same way that, the BPOs have to look into that area, because AI is making a huge advance in these areas. So we're going to have to look at a whole retraining and redevelopment of the tourism workers.
Well, Jordan Fort joins us for a quick look at what's to come in sports.
Well, Nika, in just, just a little over an hour's time now, the Reggae Boys will be in action in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. It will be a repeat of their last match against Guatemala, so they'll have good memories of that. Of course, they won that match 3-0 in a sparkling performance. And plus, we're talking about coaching movements already in the JPL. Montego Bay United has a new coach. Arnett Garden's former coach, Xavier Gilbert, is seemingly heading there. He spoke with us as well. So we'll have that and a lot more in sports.
All right, there you have it. Thanks, Jordan. And as you've heard, there's lots more to come, so stay with us right after this.
The crispy barbecue zinger from KFC. Available for a limited time. KFC, it's finger licking good.
The time by KFC is...
Celebrating one.
For this, the first lead story here on CVM TV.
1 year of bold reporting.
And of course, we look at solutions. But the fact is,
1 year of fearless investigations.
It's a very important argument and it's a very important issue.
1 year of asking the tough questions.
16 is not enough. Is 13 enough?
Lead Story with George Davis is celebrating 1 year of delivering the truth day after day. And we are just getting started.
Let's start the show.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace and Singer.
Welcome back. Let's now turn to regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. Grenada's emergency preparedness was boosted as scores of participants engaged in life-saving first responders training at the Kirani James Athletics Stadium. Here's GBN News with more.
Over 100 Grenadians benefited from a 2-day first responder emergency training session held at the Kirani James Athletics Stadium. The initiative was a collaboration between the University of Miami and Grenada's Ministry of Health aimed at strengthening the island's emergency response capacity. Participants included representatives from the Ministry of Health, the Royal Grenada Police Force, the National Disaster Management Agency NADMA, and Volunteer First.
Training was very informative. You know, knowing that we know some things about bleeding and how to stop it, but he went more in depth to give us more information to understand different ways how you could mitigate using different things to stop bleeding, not just by using a tape or something like that. You could get other things to use. Even your shirt, as he actually said, you know, your jersey, you could use those stuff. But it was very informative.
And in international news, protests against President Donald Trump have taken place in towns and cities across the U.S., organized by a group called No Kings. The demonstrations were held to counter a rare military parade hosted by Trump in Washington, D.C., and came days after protests in Los Angeles and elsewhere over his immigration policies. Here's the BBC.
America is used to showing off its military might abroad, but rarely like this on US streets. President Trump sees the military and his command of it as a sign of his own strength, and he's flexing that from coast to coast. Protests in LA against his immigration policies escalated after he sent in the military. There were more protests by those against this parade, seeing it as a costly $45 million display of authoritarianism. Thousands joined in around the country.
Happy birthday, but he's not a king, and he's acting like one.
I just wanted to be counted as someone who's really unhappy with everything that's going on, and that, you know, I want to see due process.
And that's it for regional and international news.
We take a break. Sports is next.
Let's delve deep into the issues.
we'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Welcome to sports. I'm Jordan Fort. In just over an hour, Jamaica's Reggae Boys will begin their 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup journey against a familiar foe, Guatemala, at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. The two teams clashed just days ago, with Jamaica cruising to a 3-0 win in a World Cup qualifier. Vice Captain Damien Lowe, who has featured in 18 Gold Cup matches and scored Jamaica's opener in the 2023 edition, says the team's global playing experience is a major asset heading into this fresh challenge.
It's just with the experience. My first Gold Cup, we had a much more local-based squad. I think it was only probably 4 or 5 players playing overseas in my first Gold Cup. And then moving forward to this Gold Cup tournament, I feel like we have more experience. We have players playing all over the world with bringing different qualities, different experiences from their club. It has helped us to grow a lot and to make the national team more competitive. And, as coach said, you have to be here on merit. You can't just, coast through and think you're always going to get selected, or you have to bring your A game. You have to come and work hard. And
Meanwhile, the host nation, the United States, sent an early warning at the Gold Cup, thrashing Dwight York's Trinidad and Tobago 5-0 in Group D action on Sunday. At PayPal Park, Malik Tillman bagged a classy double, while Diego Luna, Brendan Aronson and Haji Wright all chipped in to complete the rout for Mauricio Pochettino's side. Now, the Soca Warriors were outclassed across the pitch, outmuscled in midfield, shaky at the back and blunt up front. Up next, the Americans take on Saudi Arabia, while TNT must regroup fast to stay alive against Haiti.
That first touch to get away from came out of the celebrations of the goal for Luca De La Torre. Now it's Haji Wright, barreling in, cutting in. Haji Wright, far post, 5 for the United States. Haji Wright getting in on the fun. The first half, now they have 2 goals in 2 minutes here late in the second half. Haji Wright clearly outside. Always surveying to see where the run might be coming from. And similar to the goal